How's it going, guys, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be checking out the best method known so far of farming JP Orbs in Bravely Default 2. So the first thing we need to know is that we do need to make it to chapter number 3 of the game. This is where we make it to the snowy region, and we need to go to the location we're about to show here on screen. However, before we go to this special magical location, the first thing we need to do is go to Rymendell. The reason for this is that the shop in this snowy town is actually going to sell us thieves' gloves. Having the thieves' gloves is pretty much essential to making this method effective enough to make it worth it as a farming method. Now, thieves' gloves increase the chance of stealing items, so we go into the shop and we want to buy ourselves 8 thieves' gloves, 2 for each character as they do stack. Now that we've bought all 8 of these, put 2 on each of your characters. And as your weapon on all characters, make sure that you put any kind of spear. It doesn't have to be a good weapon, it doesn't matter the damage at all, as long as you're not overburdened, any spear will do. The next thing, of course, as you can imagine, is make sure that your primary job with all characters is the thief. Now, you also need to make sure that all of your thieves are at least level 10. The reason for this is that on thief level 10, we unlock the passive ability called Magpie. Now, what Magpie does, it gives you a chance of stealing rare items from enemies. It's not just an increased chance. If you don't have this passive, you literally cannot steal rare items from enemies, so you need to make sure that you have this passive equipped on all of your characters as well. Also, to make this the most efficient as possible, it's preferable to have the maxed out level 12 thief passive as well, at least on a couple of your characters. What this does is that even though technically each enemy only has 1 rare item each, in this case each of the enemies we're going to be stealing from has 1 medium JP orb, if we have the passive and it kicks in, we actually get 2 orbs in 1 steal instead of just the 1. And the next small thing we need to do to really knock this over the top and make it a great farming method is make sure that we have the Spearhead passive equipped with all of our characters as well. This is a low level passive we can get from the Beastmaster job, and what it does is that it allows us to always act before the enemy as long as we have a spear in our main hand. And that is, of course, the reason just a second ago we mentioned having a spear as your weapon on all characters. So to not waste any time, a few of these things I will explain more in depth while we're walking to the location we need to get to, just to make the most out of the video. So the place we need to go to is called the Jaws of Judgment. This is the place with the icy floors, which is just behind the Rymendell town. From the entrance, taking the teleporter, we're going to show you the exact route to get all the way to where we need to get to. Specifically, we're going to be looking for this mimic chest. And while we're doing that in the gameplay in the background, I will quickly explain of why we need to make sure we attack first. The reason is that this farming method consists of opening up a mimic chest, and inside, along with other enemies, are going to be 2 big wiki birds. These are the ones that run away almost instantly all of the time and are really hard to hit. So we need to make sure that we're all attacking first to get all of our steals in before they get a chance to run away. You don't have to worry too much if they do get away, as long as you don't kill off the other enemies in the fight. You can simply run away from the mimic fight and the mimic chest will respawn instantly, so you can just start the fight again. This is actually the way the method works, even if you do get the successful steals off and manage to steal the medium orbs off of each of the wiki birds. Once that is done, simply escape from the battle to make sure that you don't actually collect what's inside the mimic chest. This way, the chest will constantly be closed and you can keep initiating the fight as many times as you like. So now that we've arrived here in the gameplay, I can show you a quick demonstration. Join the fight, and when it's your turn, just brave ×4 with whichever character goes first and steal off of any of the wiki birds. Notice that you'll also occasionally get the small experience orbs, which is just a bonus, as that is going to be the common steal off of these enemies. And the rare steal is what we're looking for, the medium JP orbs. Once we've taken the medium JP orb off of one of our foes, move on to the next wiki bird and steal off of them. Once we have both of them, or they've escaped, just run away from the battle. If you want to be safe, your thief class also has a flee command if you want to quickly get out of there. So I know that may have seemed kind of slow as we was doing it for a demonstration on the video. Once you get really used to doing this really fast, you can average about 2 fights every minute at least. So if you have the double item steal from the level 12 thief passive on at least most of your characters, this means you're going to be getting 4 JP orbs every fight, 2 fights per minute. That means we're going to be getting 8 JP orbs per minute. And now you're probably thinking, well, that doesn't really seem like that much because each of the medium JP orbs only give 150 job points. So 8 of these would give 1,200, which isn't a great amount for a minute because we need to remember that that's actually divided between all 4 of our party members. So realistically, that 1,200 JP per minute is only actually 300 JP per character per minute. But that's where our next tip comes into play. And as most of you know, in the freelancer job class, there's actually 2 passives we can unlock, which combined give us a multiplier of 1.7 when it comes to earning JP. And something many people seem to overlook is that having these passives doesn't just mean at the end of combat. They also apply when using JP orbs. So as you can see, if we use a JP orb regularly with no passives equipped, it gives us 150. However, if we go in and equip both of the JP up passives from the freelancer class, and then go back and use the exact same orb, a medium JP 150 orb, we can see it gives us 255. So now if we quickly do the maths again, and by do the maths again, I mean pull out the calculator, 255 times 8 comes to a total of 2040, which we divide again by the 4 characters we have. So realistically, we're getting 510 job points per character per minute, which is awesome just for comparison's sake. But remember, these are orbs, so it's actually better than just getting the JP, as you can actually use those 2040 out of all of the orbs just into one character if you like, so it can be a lot quicker, especially if you're just trying to level up one job specifically instead of your whole board. Thrown on top of that, we get the bonus of having a bunch of small XP orbs, which aren't great, but it's always nice to have some extra experience laying around. It's just a bonus. So anyway, if you guys have any better JP orb farming, definitely leave it in the comments down below and share it with the community. I hope you did find this video helpful. If you did, don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content coming very soon, and we'll see you next time.